Hopefully this is working. I think so. Let me just arrange that. Hi and welcome in today's video. Mariam here, sharing about how to live a more nourishing, energizing and prosperous life. In today's video, I am actually making a live. I do hope my microphone is working. I know my camera is, but I normally don't do that. I normally go through editing. And at the moment, I no longer have time, right? I'm going to share why later in this video. I hope you are really well. Happy New Year, because I haven't had the opportunity to share on YouTube. A Happy New Year to everyone. I am making this video to share a 1-year update following the previous video I made a year ago. Makes sense, right? Which was entitled, I believe, From 5 Figures to Homeless and Sick. And basically I was sharing my life a year ago back, so in December, and the fact that I went from France to live in the UK. I had no money in my pocket. I quitted everything in France, closed my business. I had no place to live. I had just got fired back then from a job looking after an autistic child, for the simple reason that I said I wasn't feeling well in the place. And yeah, back then, basically my life was just turned upside down. I didn't know where to go, what to do. I only knew one thing. I wanted to dance, right? Basically, I wanted to follow what gives me energy. And today, I still do that. And that's why I am sharing for you if you want some tips, or for you if you're just like curious about my life, I guess, and what it takes to live on energy more, meaning doing things that you enjoy and that gives you fulfillment. Okay, so back then, as I said, yeah, I had nothing, so I wanted to share today how is my life, where do I live, do I have money or not, do I live alone or not, do I still live in London? All those questions I'm going to answer in this video, and I'm going to also share the process. Okay, so as I said, back then I had no money. I started living of money that people gave me, and using the credit of my credit card that I had back then. Don't do that, no good. But back then, that was the only option I had until I figured out a way to dance. I just had no idea how I would make money out of this, but I knew that because of my passion and my intent, it would work. And so I started dancing for associations, doing events, performances for events, Bollywood dancing. Also, I never learned how to dance Bollywood, right? I went to events and watched other people dance to see how it was behind the scenes. I then danced in clubs in London, something I would have never done in the past because how can you do that, Mariam? It's crazy. And through this dancing in clubs in London, I met so many people from different backgrounds that opened so many doors in my life for all the work opportunities and also other ways of doing things in life, like other ways of living in a boat, for instance. I met people who were living different types of life, basically, and living in abundance in different ways. Basically, my whole vision around freedom, owning your time, mastering your own life, being your own master, kind of shifted, and I opened up to new realities that I didn't know about before, didn't really know so well, because before I was only connecting with people who were so-called spiritual. And I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying if you only connect with one type of people, either like people who only do this type of workout, or people who only eat this type of food, people who only do this type of work, people who only do this type of meditation, then you close yourself so much that you prevent yourself from going into the unknown, where you experience a higher level of freedom based on your own experience and rules as a consequence. Okay, basically my conclusion is, back then, hello, thank you for the comment. It's so weird to see people like commenting at the same time. I'm just gonna focus. Okay, maybe I can send a little smiley or something if it works. Oh, thank you for being here. Okay, so basically, yeah, open yourself. My one conclusion on that first part is keep meeting new people, keep looking for, how should I say, keep connecting with different types of people, and keep seeking diversity, because that's when you're going to grow and experience a higher level of freedom. The person who is free on this world, people who are free, I would say, or live a higher level of freedom, can talk to anyone, unscared of anything. I mean, you may have fear of things, but unscared of new things to encounter, and new environments and new people, new countries, anything, because we know that everything is just a reflection of you. So even if you are in the most dodgy, scruffy place, the underground of the worst club in London, let's say, you're gonna meet that one person who is going to be a light there and share with you something that open a new door. And through that new door, you can keep going, opening new doors. And every time you feel like you hit a wall, walk around, keep walking, open the new door, no end of, never stop opening new doors, basically. Never ever stop opening new doors. Okay, so after this, dancing in London then came, actually just before COVID, the first beginning of this interesting experience. I had enough of the club, so one day the club called me. I mean, I share everything in the video back on my YouTube channel, so you can find out. But basically, I stopped working in the club. I had enough of it. The experience was done, so I moved on and started to dance online only through computer streaming on different platforms. And now I still do that, but only on Facebook, and sometimes another platform like Mixcloud. But yeah, so that's what I do today. I don't do it for money today, because I do other things linked with money. I do more events online, like, well, it's not really events, but seminars or webinars or things like that, mostly in partnership with Elitam so far, as we still currently work together. By the way, we have the mastermind starting in 45 minutes, so I better check the time. And that's what I do mostly. And I just help people basically creating events and online products or services online. I feel happy when I help people being freer. In other words, I get my freedom through helping others reaching a higher level of freedom, if that makes sense. Okay, but I still dance, and I still love doing that, and I still dance while being today my first day of my 9th month of pregnancy, correct? So I'm entering the last month of my pregnancy, and I still dance like crazy. You can see on Facebook if you follow me on Facebook. Okay, I will talk about the pregnancy thing a bit after, but for now I want to come back to the key of living in more freedom and doing what you love, and living in abundance while doing what you love. So at the beginning, no matter how scary it is, if we only follow what we truly love and give us energy, we're going to experience a wow life. I do have to say that we're going to experience a wow life. But at the beginning, it may be like scary and full of challenges, and it means we need to take risks, right? We need to take risks. So maybe at the beginning, so I started to live. So that first night I got fired, I had an hour to leave, pack my things. So I had a suitcase and a bin bag. It was 11 p.m. in the evening in cold, wintry London. I didn't know where to go. I was walking on this pavement in central London, looking around me to find a place to stay. And I had enough money for 2 nights. So I booked a hostel, not a hotel, a hostel, basically a place where you sleep with in the same room with other people. And I stayed there, yeah, for 2 nights until I figured out something else for the next day. I was basically living day by day. But yeah, so I started living in hostels beginning of 2020, and paying for the cheapest ones I could find in London. And actually, they are very cheap ones. If you're looking for it, well, when you can travel again, because right now you can't. But if you're looking for cheap places to sleep in London, some are like less than £10. But you have to be willing to sleep around smelly feet and noisy places, around men and women mixed, all this. But although it was hard, and I felt like I didn't really have my space, and yeah, it was funny. It was it was a funny adventure. So if you do this, you only are going to keep the good memories, and you're going to laugh at this later on. So I started like this, sleeping in smelly hostels, but I met great people there, people who were travelers, people who were living a different life, nomad, gypsies, all types, and that was great. So from that time till mid, like COVID started, I was doing these hostels, and you wouldn't believe the people I met. I met from the prostitute, let's say, to the billionaire CEO of Disneyland. I met so many people that opened my eyes to different things, and that's what you want to do. Meet any type of people, because the truth is, anyone can teach you anything. Anyone can teach you anything and show you a higher level of freedom and possibilities and happiness. Okay, so after this, I went from, once I had more money, dancing, doing events, I started to book places or on Airbnb. Next level. On Airbnb, I would find places. So when COVID started, I moved a bit away from London because I wasn't really working in London anymore because no work. So I booked a place about 40 minutes from London, and I started from there. And again, that place I met, it was a shared house. So I basically lived in shared houses all along 2020. And that is another way to meet great people, hopefully, not always, but hopefully, and to have more doors opening. So from there, I met other people, some from different countries, and that was also a way to socialize. And from then on, I went to book other places through them, and I found one place where I stayed for the whole COVID, from April till June or July, the end of the first lockdown. And then I started to work online a bit more, so earn more of a regular income again, doing only things that I love. All right, no more shitty stuff that you don't want to do. You should always do things that you love, and it's possible. And then after that, I decided I wanted my own place, and that's where I am today. So I didn't want any more of house sharing because I felt like I had enough. It was good, but I was ready to move on. And the challenge when you live in London is that the price, right? The price in London are actually more expensive than Paris, and they're actually like probably London is one of the most expensive places in the world, let's be honest. And so when it came to this, I was earning more. I felt like it was triggering my capacity to commit to one place long term, because remember, I was used to traveling so much. For the past 10 years, I think I've moved like over 50 times for sure, probably 100. Yeah. And so when you're used to traveling so much, then stability feels really scary. I think actually from the age of 3 years old, I've always been moving around, and even in poverty, like it didn't matter, because the truth is, when you know poverty once and you go through it, you're never scared of it again. It doesn't matter starting from scratch, having no money, no place, doesn't matter. You always figure out a way, and that's being rich. That's how you actually live, being rich, living in abundance all the time, because you always figure out a way to create abundance from scratch anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, you should have that skill. Very, very key, because then you live in freedom. So back to my story. There I was, looking for places to live, not just for me, but for that little baby in my tummy at the moment, because I see, if it was for myself, I would be very lazy. I wouldn't work. I would live on benefits because my needs are so low, and I wouldn't really live in my own place. I would live in shared houses, and I would live a lazy life. I wouldn't push myself to do other things. I wouldn't want to help others. I would just focus on chilling, going out, hiking, meditating, which is good. But yeah, I would live on benefits, and that is not so good, because then you rely on society to pay you all the time an income, and you don't do anything to grow your level of freedom. So having being pregnant changed the game because I questioned what type of life I wanted for the baby, right? What type of life I had myself, what did I like and what did I not like, what would I want to change on my side and what would I want to keep. And I knew I wanted my own place, and that meant finding how shall I say, being confident that it's possible for me to commit somewhere, to stay long term, to earn a regular income, an income that high enough to pay for the rent and bills and everything. And it took about 2 to 3 months for me to be able to manifest a place that I actually like and I know is absolutely perfectly connected with me. Just even the name of the place, to share with you, has a French word and an Indian connection. I'm not going to say the details because I don't really want people to come and knock on my door, but it's very interesting that when you view places and when you go to see houses, sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. And when it does click, it's like everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Maybe later on, I'll give you a little tour. Right now, I'm more into finishing and packing and all that stuff. But yeah, basically, so I went from when you share a house here in London, I was paying, to be honest, 550 a month. And now I am paying almost 3 times that amount. But it's okay though. That's just how it is in London. So I had to figure out a way to do that. And my point is, again, if you do what you love and if you keep trusting life and if you look at the doors opening, there will always be a way. So I keep doing what I love, creating events for people online and dancing. And if you actually do know what my point is, if you do know what you love and you want to live in abundance for doing that, connect with people, watch for the doors opening, meditate, and you will get it. Especially with this COVID time, everything manifests a lot faster and you can get anything you want a lot faster. I need to drink, sorry. It's always when I talk a little much. Okay. So basically, I'm going to conclude this video soon. Did I say that? Yeah, connection. You really want to connect with people because the truth is, alone, no matter how talented we are, no matter how skilled we are, no matter how smart we are, how spiritual we are, we always need other people. We always need the help of other people. Alone, we can't do anything. For real, alone, we can't do nothing. So connecting is very key. No matter where you are, your field, anything, just connect with others. Connect with others. Keep watching the doors opening, open new doors, connect with people. And if you can't meet them physically because it's COVID, connect with them online. It's possible too. Yeah, my conclusion for this video is, remember, if I can say, my voice is shaky. My conclusion is, don't settle for comfort. Don't settle for comfort. Don't live in comfort in so much that you live a lazy life. And go take risks, go for new places, go for new people, go for new activities, go for diversity. And when you do that, realize that you want to have one thing. You want to own your time. You want to be your own boss and your own master. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out a way, especially with the whole COVID situation, where you can live anywhere, do anything you want, start from scratch, but you want to own your time. You don't want to have someone telling you what to do, someone telling you when to work, someone paying you for something. You want to be your own master in creating what makes you happy, on using your own creativity to live in abundance. Because if you don't do that, if you don't own your time, if you can't decide when you work and when you don't work, where you live, where you can go, when you decide to travel or not, where you decide to settle, if you don't have this skill of owning your time, you live like a slave. and you don't want that. And the only way for me to really own your time and live in health is to follow what gives you energy and keep focusing on that. Even if it's scary and hard, just do that. And always put your health first, health and safety first. Okay, I choose to live on my own because I know that I put health and safety first when I do that. No matter how challenging it is financially, or actually it's not even, but or it could be financially, you should put health and safety first. No matter what people tell you, oh, you should live with other people, oh, you should get married, or oh, you should do this and this and that. You are the only one who knows your health and your background and what you should do as a consequence for this to be respected and for this to be at your own level and with your own rules. Follow your own health and safety. Don't rely on other people. Actually, the more people criticize, the better an indicator it is for you to follow, because that just shows the challenges that you need to face to test yourself. Voilà, as we say in French, voilà. Own your time. And I will share in other videos how you can own your time, like the tools I use myself, the platforms I use, and things that you can use to make your life a lot easier and simple. And you don't have to, it's easy. Anyone can do that. Especially with COVID, you should find ways to go back to your own self, come closer to nature, live exactly where you want, answer your needs and wants, and live the life that you want, because this is happening exactly for this. Okay, in the next video, I will share a bit of a house tour, my rituals, morning and evening, what I do being pregnant. I will share more about the pregnancy, what happened, how come, and what my plans, and I will share about how to own your time as well and what I do to do that. Okay? So basically, am I going to share this? Well, I feel like back in the previous video a year ago, I was sharing my health state, financial state, and house situation. If today I can sum up, I live in a one-bedroom flat. I feel very healthy, thank God, and I feel also healthy, like in the sense that I live a different life where I teamwork with that baby in my belly, and I will share on that, and will share how you can be powerful and energetic while being pregnant. That's more for women right here, and you don't have to be like lazy, tired, unable to do stuff. No, and I will share how you can make it a powerful, uplifting experience rather than the opposite. So I feel like my health is, thank God, a new experience, but a great one. And about financially, well, back then in the video I was sharing, I had 30 pounds in my pocket, and now what I do get is about 100 times this amount monthly, but I have to, because what I pay is also a lot more. But that is possible. Again, if you own your time, you can set your own rules, and you don't have to work like crazy to do that. The reason I share that is not to brag about myself, is to say that if I could make it within 1 year, anyone can do that, because I wouldn't say we were all born the same way. I educated myself, and I grew my confidence, and I learned how to be more, to get the skills that you need to get to own your time and to do what you love in life. If I was able to do that, anyone can do it, and you as well. And I want you to remember that and to live the life that you want. Because if I was able to do it, you can do it too in no time. Okay? So I did it in 1 year, but I took my time. Just to share that in the end, follow what gives you energy is always going to be rewarding. Hello, Vein 3D. So I'm going to end this video to then start with the mastermind with Alitam and the group of people we have. I wish you a great end or a mid of day. I don't know, in London right now, it's going to get dark. It's 4:30, and I'll catch you up in another video. I will answer questions that I got about the pregnancy, like, and my plans or life plans after, and how I'm going to manage, like things that people assume are a normality. I'm not living my life a normal way, in other words, but I'm going to share that in another video. What is normal really? Who knows? Okay, have a good time. Thank you for watching. I love you so much. I'm so happy to connect with you after a little while again, where I was really sharing mostly dance videos, but I can share a little more now that I have my own space and I can shout and dance and do things in the middle of the night as well. Very useful. Things that you can't really do in a shared house. And I'm very excited. Okay, catch you up later. Bye now. And always remember, follow what gives you energy. Energy.